And our next presentation is on book publishing trends and future growth, where it will be discussed the book publishing trends, the growth analysis, the prominent categories in the vernacular publishing scope, for which I now invite on stage Mr. Vikrant Mathur, who's the Executive Director at Nielsen Book Data. Can we all give a great round of applause, please?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for this. I really want to thank FIP for giving me the opportunity, Naveen ji, Ramesh Mittal ji, Ashok Gupta ji. I'm going to talk about the global situation of the book publishing, and I'm going to talk about largely on the trade book market, this where we are producing more charts. And I think from the morning you have been hearing so many thoughts of the people about AI. So I thought I'll show you more colorful pictures through my slides. I hope you find it interesting. I'll be available around if you have any questions on my slides, on my presentation, or the insight that I'm going to produce. I think most of you understand and would know about the Nielsen. Nielsen is a global market research company. We produce market insights on various categories and the insight for various products. Here I'm talking about on the books. We recently also had the acquisition of the company called GfK, which is Growth for Knowledge. It's a German market research company. And I'm going to show you some insight from that, because after that acquisition, we have acquired some of the markets which they were doing the book research, largely in the European market. So if you look at my slide here, I'm talking about the market like Australia, New Zealand, and many more markets. And at the bottom, I'm saying about GfK, because that's acquisition that I've just spoken about, which talks about France, Belgium, and many more markets. And I'm going to show you about how these markets are featuring in the various growth path, etc. And also I'm comparing with the Indian market, so you understand where we stand as an India as a business. Very interesting chart where I'm showing you the global the growth rates. Purposefully, I'm showing you the pre-COVID, and I don't want to hear, I'm sure in this hall nobody wants to know more about COVID, but in this slide I just want to show you that so understand the growth rates from the pre-COVID era, which is 2018 versus 2019, and also post, which is 2022 and 2023. And when you look at these growths, you will understand that most of the market are showing green colors. It means that the post-COVID, the growth rates are much more stronger. So nobody believes that print book market is going away. It's staying everywhere in the globe very strong. If you look at India, it was pre-COVID, it was 10.5% growth, but now it is more stronger, closer to 13% growth that we are seeing it. Some of the markets, Oceania, which is down under, which is Australia and New Zealand, it was the negative growth anyway before COVID, and it had improved rather after the COVID. So it is showing 2% in Australia versus New Zealand is about 5.5%. If you look at any other European market, it's also growing very phenomenally post-COVID era. If you move Belgium to France to Ireland, every market is showing a very positive growth. Some of the market like Brazil, which was in negative, now it is in positive. So overall, the industry in the global is growing in the print book market. I want to show you this, how the genre features. So how people were reading fiction, non-fiction in children, pre-COVID versus the post-COVID. I mean, India has always been known as a non-fiction reader. While if you look at the other market, interestingly, in the European market, they were very strong in terms of fiction, and probably because of the pre-COVID and the post-COVID, people have glued to the fiction reading more. And that's why if you look at most of the European market, including UK, if you look at UK, which is on 25% on the right hand of the corner, it has moved to 31%. It means more fiction books are being read in the European market when you compare to the Asian market like India, which is more stronger continues to be on the non-fiction side. Australia is again very strong in children reading, and I'll show more about what I mean by children reading. But if you go to the Australia and New Zealand, they are very strong in terms of children reading as such. Children reading is more like a fiction children reading, not the activity book, which I'll talk about later. roughly about, we have calculated about US dollar 14 billion business that has made by the print book market. France is on the top of the chart, followed by Italy, Spain. And I'm talking about from the Bookspan perspective. Don't get confused, because we have also produced a Indian book market report, which talks about India is a third largest and second largest by the English language. So that's a total market. Here I'm talking about a Bookscan of the product, which is a retail tracker. And also these are a chart mostly focusing on the trade or the leisure reading books. So France in that is top of the chart, followed by UK, Italy, Spain, and it goes on the different market that we track. ASP is very important, because average selling price, how it is moved market to market, is critical and important, because that's how the business moves. If you look at most of the graphs is showing the positive color, especially the fiction market, which is stronger in terms of the average growth, in terms of the market that you see Belgium to any other market. Interestingly, only the Australia and New Zealand, which is Oceania, have shown some negative growth. So it means that the average selling price in those markets have dropped. So today it is selling at 100. Then next year it is gone to 90. That's what average selling price is all about. That is what Australia and New Zealand is showing, which is negative growth in terms of average price. We also wanted to show you how it is featuring in fiction, non-fiction, and children. So the bold color that I'm showing you, these are the market which have grown either in fiction, non-fiction, and children, but by volume and value. So all the bold color that you're seeing, it including India, have either grown by value or volume, or both currency. So India, Mexico, Spain, and Portugal have grown in terms of fiction, while non-fiction, again, India is featuring everywhere, but it's again Spain, Italy, Belgium, and other markets have grown. If you look at children, again, the Portugal, Belgium, and the Netherlands and France have grown by value terms. I also wanted to show you, because we also talked about always about the bestseller chart. We wanted to show you about what top 50 in these market appears to be. So fiction titles have shown about 314 titles in the 2023 in top 50, while in non-fiction it's about 301 titles, followed by the children, which is about 185 titles. Again, India is always like a non-fiction, which I have talked about. But if you look at the other markets, say example, the red color it shows the UK, which is 26 books appear in fiction category. Stronger in Italy, which is 33 titles have shown in top 50. So it means the European market is all about is fiction, followed by non-fiction and etc. While India, again, the non-fiction is stronger in terms of the top titles as well. Overall mix, here I'm showing you in these markets, interestingly, the Spare, which is written by Prince Harry, it's top of the chart. The UK and Italy, it was the bestseller titles in 2023. Atomic Habits was the bestseller titles, not only in India, but Colombia and Mexico. Australia is dinner. Australia, it's interesting to see, which is not likely in India, is the cookery books has been selling a lot, and that's what been featuring here in the top of the chart in Australia. While if you look at the other side, all the red color shows that these are the fiction titles which are appearing in these European market, which I've talked about is Ireland, Spain. These all are the non-fiction titles which are hitting the bestseller chart in these respective market. It is also interesting to see that how the books which are being produced or being developed or content we have been hearing about content. So how the content is being developed in the market, and that has also been selling not in that particular market but also outside the market. So if you look at the crime thriller in the Italy, which was produced 60% of that sale in that market, but interesting 34% is also coming out from the Spain market. So it means that local content is also sellable in the outside the country, which is the chart is showing. So if you look at Spain, 94%, but 6% is also been sold by the Mexico. So the affinity of those title is not limited to that particular market, but also it sells hugely and amongously depending on how we market, how we produce that content. It's been sellable in the other market as well, and that is what the global phenomenon is all about. It's a boundaryless. People loves to read the other market book, and that is what been visible out here. India is 100% like in India is being read about. There is an opportunity that Indian content can also go abroad, and that's how it has been visible. And the next slide I'm going to show you is about how the non-fiction and self-help been appearing. So if you look at this pair, it is there featuring everywhere in the market. Most likely is all Europe, except in India and in Netherlands, which is not there. But India, if you look at, mostly is all non-fiction books, starting from Atomic Habit, etc., etc. Children is again, India is outside the box because if you look at the other markets, it's all about fiction books, children fiction book being read across, and that is what we have to focus about. Is India, the kids are reading not the books. The books that I'm showing you is all activity books. But if you look at the other markets where children are reading more real fiction books, it means that we have to invest more on children about their reading habits. And that is what the conference is all about, that kids, if they are not reading and they are only reading the educational material, which is not for any economy and it's not good for the publishing growth itself. And that is what very well visible on from this chart, that if you compare other markets, the kids are reading just not only the educational book, but they're reading, their vocabulary is getting stronger because they are reading much more larger content rather than only the educational books or the activity book as like in India. TikTok is one of the biggest phenomenon being noticed in the European market. It's been seen is one of the growth factor for the English books. So if you look at the non-speaking English market in the European, like Netherlands, Belgium, and Spain, the TikTok has produced a phenomenal growth for those markets. So if you look at these charts, the English book sales have come out very well through the book TikTok. And that is what been shown in the Netherlands chart, where 70% or 17% of the sales have come out from the TikTok portal, followed by Belgium, which is 16%, and then it goes on. If you look at these titles, these are the titles which are been selling using the TikTok. English have produced 214,000 books, and if you compare with the translation book, is about 149. It does mean that TikTok is very much viable solution being seen in the European market, and that is what also visible we have seen in the Southeast Asia, where TikTok has been talked about in these markets. I think this is what I have got in today's presentation. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your presentation on the book publishing trends and the future growth. I would now be inviting on stage Mr. Pranav Gupta to kindly felicitate our speaker for this session, Mr. Vikrant Mathur. Can we give a great round of applause, please?